another one.
Hello and welcome, Exiles. This one is going to be a doozy. I had a lot of fun putting this character together so far. We're only a level 72 character. That was just a white tier map showcase, but the mechanics of this one gets a little bit twisted, it gets a little bit confusing, so you're going to have to stick with me on this one. We are building around Eternal Apple and Berserker and Echoes of Creation specifically, not to mention Self-Chill in the build. How does this all pair? How does this all work together? Well, to start things off with, the way Eternal Apple works is it says, hey, you're going to trigger a socketed war skill or war cry skill when you lose endurance charges, which happens every time you hit max endurance charges. Simple way of proccing this is a combination of +2 minimum endurance charges, meaning whenever you gain another endurance charge, you will hit maximum, thus losing the charges, thus proccing the war cries. This means if I do something like this and I proc my war cry cycle, they'll pop about every second if you have enough CDR, which we get CDR on the tree here and here, and if you have a Enduring Composure, for an example, a node that gives you 1 endurance charge per second. So what we have going on here is this thing procs, and it keeps cycling through, and every time we end up attacking with an exerted attack, Echoes of Creation is going to hit us with physical damage, which then will continue to self-proc this cycle. It basically means while we're mapping, this thing, it procs itself. It's not something we have to think about. So pretty much all the time while we're mapping, we have constantly going off Ancestral Cry, Intimidating Cry, and Rallying Cry. Each of these things have close to a 3-second cooldown, so for the most part, we have pretty good uptime on a lot of these for exerted attacks. It's not 100%, especially not for Intimidating Cry, but it's still pretty good uptime, and it feels good. The other combination that happens here is Echoes of Creation hits us with physical damage, which then chills us with Winterweave. That means our character can end up chilling ourselves for 30%, and that'll stay good uptime as we're attacking and we're self-proccing these war cries and we're hitting ourselves with Echoes of Creation. 30% chills, and it's another thing where it just kind of auto does itself. The reason this can chill us is because Call the Void makes all damage chill us, and because we are hitting ourselves with physical damage, it wouldn't normally chill us, but Call the Void means it will chill us. So that's how we're getting self-chill for 30%. And then our Echoes of Creation with a minimum of 10 power from this node here, or this mastery here. This means we can get rage every time we're below our rage amount. That means if we have, for example, Berserk going and we have this cycle constantly propping off, we will be getting back rage on a regular basis. Now, there's some issue with if I'm not in an actual map fighting monsters, the cycle of Eternal Apple doesn't quite work right with proccing the self-damage of Echoes of Creation. I think it has something to do with me not hitting enemies for actually proccing the, I'm exerting the attacks, so you're not targeting an enemy or something weird like that. I'm not sure exactly the mechanics there. Point is, when we're mapping, it's still very good uptime for rage, as you could see in the showcase we started with, and how that works together. This character is also operating under the I want to go fast principle. And this necessarily isn't something I recommend for min-maxing into the best possible use case of the character, but this min-maxes into the I want to have fun and go fast principle, which is, I have a Sublime Vision haste. This is not going to optimize our defenses. This isn't going to optimize our character necessarily, but it is going to optimize our fun. Now, when we take on a Sublime Vision, that means we can't go for other auras like Determination, like Grace, a lot of the defensive powerhouses that you know and love. And this means that we need to get defenses somehow. And how else are we getting those? We're getting those with doppelgangers, guys. This chess piece is the chess piece I like to say is, if you can't get defensive auras, this thing will fix your defenses without much effort. Because what it does is it takes physical damage and it slaps it in the face. And it also gives you defenses for elemental damage. For example, you can't scale into max res as easily without ores, without purities, but with divine or doppelganger's guise, you mix in a divine flesh, and all of a sudden, elemental damage really has quite a bit of mitigation thanks to it being converted into taking its chaos damage and taking less chaos damage. This chest piece also means when we hit ourselves with our Echoes of Creation, we generate some regen, which we need to do because we're hitting ourselves pretty significantly hard. You can see as I start to like proc this, if I was just to chain it all down without any leech, without any life gain on hit, without any of that extra juice, we need extra sustain, and this helps give us some of that extra sustain. Basically is what it's doing. It's helping keep us alive, so to speak. So that is some of the mechanics of this character. This is a character I'm excited to actually level up and take to some higher endgame to see how it will perform. We're going for a tree like this where we're taking advantage of Elusive and Nightblade. That's why we have a claw. Life gain on hit's pretty necessary for this setup, and we will see where we can take it. We still need to get our Uber Lab. There's going to be a lot of nice upgrades to get that'll enhance our speed even more than we have now, and I'm just excited to see where this character is going to end up going. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching. Take care, Exiles.